So the cottage cheese craze is here. Everyone's making it and they're just kind of simplifying it with cottage cheese, eggs, putting it in the oven 350 degrees. You get kind of like a flatbread, or you can make it more like a quiche. I've kind of ramped it up a bit, but this is so skinny. It's like as carb-free as can be. The beauty of this is how many of us have got that half a chicken in the fridge. It's really nice when you get it from the grocery store and the leftover is kind of not that great. When you put this chicken into the cottage cheese mix and then you bake it, it becomes so succulent. It's like it's just been cooked. It is the best thing ever. You've got to try it. So here's what we're going to do. Take some cottage cheese. Now, you might think because you've got to bake it and it's going to come out really nice and kind of flat with a nice texture, you've got to have a full fat one. Not at all. Completely fat-free. Fat-free, or you can use a low fat. I think this is a low fat actually. I normally always do the completely fat-free, but it's only like 1% anyway. Then I'm just going to get that out. And then we crack some eggs. This is going to be, honestly, I have this in one sitting. I would say it could be for 2 people, but you know what? We can really fill ourselves up with this. It's completely guilt-free. So I'm going to do 3 eggs. You could do 2 to 3. And then what I'm going to do to this, just to get a bit of flavor into this, and this is kind of my interpretation of it, rather than the classic, is I'm going to take a couple of slices of jalapeno pepper, and I'm going to pop that in. Also, my oven is preheated at 375, 380, and then put some fresh basil. But the beauty, honestly, the beauty is this chicken and how it comes out. I mean, it's a meal, it fills you up. It is incredible. Now, I want you to be really careful with salt because actually the cottage cheese is quite salty. So I only want a tiny pinch, you don't need a lot. Pepper, no problem. You can add a lot. And then what we do is we take a hand blender and we're just going to get this into a nice smooth paste. Honestly, you've got to see the end of this. That chicken and how it comes out, it is a delicious meal. It is so guilt-free. There's virtually no carbs in it whatsoever. What's the carbs on the cottage cheese? That's the only carbs you've got. 4 grams, and you've probably got 6 grams of carbs in this. Okay, always unplug these. They make me nervous if you don't. Give that a tap. And then we're gonna dress it up a little. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so before I put it in, a little bit of a spray. You want a nice non-stick. Let's get that in there. Now, you could go on a much bigger cookie sheet and then it becomes a little thinner. I'm making this a little bit more like a quiche, but if you did want it more like a flatbread, bit more of a crisp, put it on a much larger tray. That's all there is to it. Okay, that's going there. Let's get a little bit of this chicken. So again, this is 2-day-old rotisserie chicken. And I know we just get so bored with that. It doesn't taste nice. You don't want to put it in the microwave. It will be awful. But all we'll do is take the skin off. Don't want the fat. Listen, if you see me eat something, it's going to be really skinny. It's going to be carb-free. It's going to be as low as carbs as possible. It's going to be very good in saturated fats. Why? Because that's how I got into this. After 14 cookbooks and menus for airlines and hotels, I did that because I lost 65 pounds years ago. And there was no food to inspire me. I couldn't have lived 30 years on eating crappy food that didn't excite me. So that's why I just got excited about coming up with dishes that I can eat and I can stay on this. And I want to push that chicken just a little bit in because it's going to get all moist. I cannot tell you You've got to try this if you've got leftover chicken, regardless on just the cottage cheese side. It really brings it to life beautifully. Okay, so I'm going to take an onion. Massive red onion. I love red onion because there's a little bit of sweetness to it, and it's going to caramelize a little bit more. Let's take out that outer layer. And they don't make you cry when you cut them, the red onions, like the white. Just wipe my hands. Okay, now, nice real thin slices. So you want to kind of push the knife against the onion, and then you get these wafer thin slices. They go on top. Not too many, but the slimmer you go on that, you see it's like you could got the thinnest layer. What happens there is then it takes the strength out of it, so it's not too harsh. A lot of people don't like red onions because it kind of stays in the breath, but if you do it really nice and thin, and then you cook it, it allows that. You know, whenever you cook onion and garlic, all that pungency takes away. It depends how long you cook it for. So if you're using garlic on there and you're cooking it for like 30 minutes, it'll be okay. If you put it like in a soup and it's cooking for hours, you won't get any real taste of that garlic as in on like after you've eaten it. It will only be flavor in the soup. One more. This comes out so pretty. Okay, so talking of pretty, let's put a few pomegranate seeds. Now what's nice here is it just gives a burst of a little bite of citrusy sweet when you have the onion. So it's a kind of nice sweet sour flavor just from the pomegranates. Going to put a few scallions because you need a bit of color for green on there. That goes in my oven for about 30 minutes, or exactly 30 minutes. And then we're going to give it a go. Try it. But always be creative. You can put cilantro in there, you can put other vegetables, you can put some spinach, but that chicken is killer.